Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Chess Comedy Books 33, in which we take the lid off, as they says in Radio 4, the lid off and take a sideways glance at the very serious world of chess. I just want to look at some more obscure aspects which may have been overlooked by people when they're talking about chess. Now, the first of these, I discovered in The Eye, which is a magazine, which is a newspaper. Now, I'm going to hold this as still as I can, and I never have a steady hand. There we are, let's get it all in. What this is a reference to chess, but it's not using chess pieces or the conventional chessboard. All it's doing is taking the knight and using it to jump around the board, and you have to try and work out the journey that it took from square 1, which is where it starts, to square 100, which is where, if you've done it correctly, and I wasn't able to do it at all, I wasn't even able to do it incorrectly. If you've done this at all, it will eventually rest. And it tells you how to play a chess knight visits each square of the grid exactly once, starting at 1 and ending at 100. Told you so. These squares are shaded. Yeah, that's okay. Deduce the whole path of the knight, some of which is already given. That's true. And thus complete the grid. The knight moves either 2 squares horizontally, followed by 1 square vertically, or, wait for it, 2 squares vertically, followed by 1 square horizontally. Well, quite frankly, I'd never seen anything like this before. I've heard about knights tours. I've even seen one demonstrated on television. I've read about them, but I've never seen a 10 by 10 grid with numbers on it like that. So I think this could be, whilst it's not as good as Koltanowski's idea of painting a chessboard on your bedroom ceiling. That'd please your father, wouldn't it? The fact is, I think this would be a good way of wasting time. They didn't have a conventional chess column or chess problem or any of there were loads and loads of pages in The Eye showing you various little quizzes and optical illusions and things. Here, for the benefit of those of you with good eyesight, is the answer. It's the sort of thing you could scan into your phone, isn't it? So you see the 1, you see the 100, and you can see the knight's move appearing, as Gerald Abrahams would say, a figure in the marble. I'll just say that again, a figure in the marble. I think that's a lovely phrase. So there's an obscure aspect of chess. Now, this comes under the heading of As Others See Us. As Others See Us. This publication, I'm told, by John Upham, he'd never heard of. Well, quite frankly, this is, in my opinion, what was left over from Punch when it was bought by Al Fayed for a sort of house magazine for Harrods. He didn't want the magazine, he wanted respectability. You never hear about him these days. But for all of that, here we have the return of Brideshead. And that's nothing to do with chess. And I wrote to these people. At one time, Grandmaster James Plaskett's wife, good lady wife, Fiona Ketley, wrote in this publication about her allotment. And because of that, I asked Jim if he would give me a reference if I applied to them for a job to write a regular chess column. Unfortunately, he didn't answer. That's his prerogative. It is. I couldn't ask Fiona because I don't know her. But they have actually mentioned, referenced, excuse me, what we call it, chess. I'll just read. This is from their, it's a while back now. This is from their spring 2020 issue. So, well, nearly a year ago, not quite. The Evening Standard that's a London paper, sacked the paper's oldest columnist, chess writer Leonard Barden. To be honest, I'm not sure they have, but there we are. At the end of the chess column on the 31st of January, Barden, 90, modestly wrote, "Today is my final chess article for the Evening Standard. The series began on the 4th of June, 1956, and has continued for 63 years, 7 months and 27 days without missing a day. A world record in all journalism for a daily column by a single individual." The old boy, that's Mr. Leonard W. Barden, told British Chess News, that's run by my friend John Upton, his departure had been caused by budget cuts. Otherwise, I might have continued until I dropped. Dropped? Shouldn't a chess maestro say, until I was taken? Da, 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 da. I think that's rather nice. And I recommend the oldie. I have it in, it comes out every month. There it is. And I'll put the subscription details down here. You can also get it in bound form, the back annuals, and I've got several of those, 5 or 6, I think. Actually. It's been going for about 30 years. There you are. Now, the next form of chess will surprise you. This is cross-stitch. This is cross-stitch. It's not Kostic, who was a 19th century player, but cross-stitch, and was done by my sister Emma Bamford and given to me about 10 years ago for Christmas. I think it's rather fine. It has the little chess pieces. It has every single one in alternating colours. I think she's done rather well there, and she's framed it, which keeps it body and soul together. So there you are. There's chess in another manifestation. Now, what's this? I may have to stand up for this. There we are. Look, look, look. A chess sweatshirt. I'm not even certain the word sweatshirt exists in the English language anymore. Now, what you want to know, I know what you want to know is, what does it say? It says the Lloyds Bank Masters. Now, the Lloyds Bank Masters was held annually in London, normally at a posh hotel. In fact, I think always in a posh hotel, like the Cumberland. And it was run by Leonard Barden and Stuart Reuben and Sir Jeremy Morse, who was the president of Lloyds Bank, put his money into it, and Stuart and friends put their expertise into it. And I went every single time to watch it. Obviously, I couldn't play in it, but it was a big Swiss, rather than big Swizz. So a lot of people did get the chance to see and play against grandmasters. And obviously, if you want to become a grandmaster yourself, you have to play. You have to get your rating up, and you have to play against these people. So it was an excellent opportunity for a comparatively player of modest blood on my face, modest ability, maybe, to play, and also the top masters, to play against grandmasters. And obviously, once we got some grandmasters ourselves, and we did, this wasn't the only place this happened. Players like Miles and Spielman and Nunn were quite frankly feared and feared. Well, there we are. Some obscure aspects of chess. We can get back on a more even keel next time. But for now, I've been James Pratt. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe down here. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.